The Phillies are searching for a big ticket piece to elevate them to the likes of the New York Yankees and, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who seem just one win away from winning the World Series at the point of recording this. And that brings us to the topic of Mike Trout as it pertains to the Philadelphia Phillies. So a local legend, a guy who is in Philadelphia often. You see him on the sideline of Eagles games because, of course, he doesn't have playoff games to worry about himself. But we want to talk about what his fit on this Phillies team could look like. So I'm going to start off with breaking down the initial report, this coming from Sports Illustrated here, that says Philadelphia Phillies predicted to trade for Los Angeles Angels superstar, with the subtitle, "Is Mike Trout the answer to the Philadelphia Phillies this offseason?" Now, as far as the write-up, it is written that with the outfield uncertainty being a need for the Phillies, Kerry Miller of Bleacher Report recently proposed the Phillies should go after Mike Trout in a potential massive move. And she writes, quote, "What about the Phillies, though? The Angels would need to eat a lot of Trout's remaining contract in any trade negotiation, and especially in one with Philadelphia, which is already staring down the barrel of roughly $275 million payroll in 2020-25. If, however, Los Angeles retains the entirety of Trout's 2025 salary before letting Philly begin to pay its share of 2026, once JT Realmuto and Kyle Schwarber come off the books, the Phillies would be quite interesting in adding the 11-time All-Star in hopes of addressing the fact that they pinch hit for an outfielder 6 times in the postseason that lasted just 4 games. As a fan of Philadelphia growing up, it has long been desired for Trout to come home to the Phillies." So, Luke, right off the bat here, we know who Mike Trout is and have for quite some time. What is your level of interest of him coming to the Phillies?
I don't know. If it feels like we just have this conversation every year, and then he just stays, and then this report gets shot down. I don't know. I'd love him if he stays healthy. That's my thing. If he stays healthy, you're putting a guy with a career 990 OPS into your lineup, with a career 410 on base percentage and a 581 slugging percentage. That's the guy you're putting into your lineup. It's just a matter if he's on the field. We've seen careers be revived from going to new teams. We've seen stars go to new teams, cough, cough, Shohei Ohtani, and only get better. But I don't know. It's just like, you can't trade a ton for this guy and have him come in and play 29 games in 2024 and 82 in 2023 and 36 in 2021. It's just, he has to stay healthy if they want to get him.
Yeah. I'll start by saying I'm not a Mike Trout guy.
No, you're not.
I'm a South Jersey kid. I understand the folklore, him being a Philly sports fan. He's at Eagles games all the time, and we see him sitting on the sideline looking like this all the time. I think he's one of the more overrated baseball players throughout this generation of things. I think he has stats to back it up. There's no doubt about it. When you read down the list, the 11-time All-Star, all these type of things, for me personally, I disagree with the mindset of baseball being such a concept of team sport, that when you look around every other league, in the NBA, in the NFL, in the NHL, that if a player is not capable of elevating his team to some level of team success, it gets held against them. Luke, I look you in the eyes right now, and you and I have combined for 1 fewer playoff hit than Mike Trout in our entire professional careers right there. So I hear you. I understand baseball is different to an extent because of obviously all the factors that come in, pitchers, the whole batting order, all that type of thing. But just look at the Angels' record during his tenure here. They have not had a winning record since going back all the way. Where is their last winning record that we have here? I believe this is Trout specifically here. I believe it's back in 2015 was the season that it is. As I mentioned, he's just had a cup of coffee in the playoffs. I just don't see Trout being the guy that is, that missing piece of playoff identity. I understand the talent. It would be a nice story of him coming home. But to me, I just think that the assets that it would take to actually get him could be far better allocated in other areas.
Yeah, I agree. I think this would be like the move that we would be like, obviously we'd be wowed by this move. If a notification came up and said the Phillies traded for Mike Trout, we'd be ecstatic, I think. But I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense anymore. He's not the player he once was. He still is an unbelievable baseball player when he's on the field, but I don't think the Phillies, this is not the offseason to tinker around with guys who have historically been hurt the last 4 years when
Right.
you have a lot of other potential options that you could go after. I don't see it. I don't think it's the right move. I don't think it's the smartest move. And that is me predicting that he's going to be hurt at some point, because that's just the track that he's on.
Yeah.
And I think we already said this, but like, these guys can go to other teams and they can be great again. But I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think this is the right move for the Phillies.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. And to get a little bit more of the breakdown from the article, writes, however, he has been fiercely loyal to the Los Angeles Angels, but unfortunately that has resulted in him barely seeing any postseason action at this point. While Trout is an exciting name, he isn't the same player as 5 years ago. The slugger has had to deal with a lot of injuries in recent years and is owed a lot of money. If Trout was healthy, he would be a massive upgrade for Philadelphia in the outfield, but he simply hasn't showed the ability to stay on the field, and those injuries have also impacted his production while playing. Now, to pull up the contract, exactly what we're talking about here, that's a lot of years still remaining on a guy. On one hand, it would be nice for him to be a part of the core. On the other hand, like, if he's not playing up to that ticket level of production, then we're staring down the barrel of a problem, not a solution here. So that's where my mind keeps circling back with Mike Trout.
Yeah, I'm just at the point where I just don't see it. I think if you got the Mike Trout of 5 years ago on this team, I think they'd probably win the World Series. But I don't think it makes sense. I think there's too many guys they can go after that can promise you a healthy season and an all-around season that's going to give you a chance to win, like, night in and night out. I don't see it with Trout, and I want to see it. Like, I want prime Trout, but it's just I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah, that may be the case there. And just the last question before we wrap up here: peak Mike Trout versus current Juan Soto. Who's a better baseball player?
Ooh, probably Mike Trout.
Okay. Wow.
I still think, like, you take away the playoff stuff for 10 minutes, like, his prime was one of the best baseball players to ever step foot on the planet. Okay. Like, he was freaking unbelievable. I mean, he from 2012 to 2022, he didn't have an OPS under 940. Wow. He had 5 seasons with an OPS over 1,000. His OPS plus never dipped under 160. I mean, the dude was just like a freak. Like, 2013 Trout to, like, I would say really prime, like 2021. That dude was like Shohei right now. Like, he was must-watch television like every single night.
Okay, interesting there.
So I would lean Trout.
Okay.
But Juan Soto is still only 26 years old.
Yeah, I think, and we may not have seen the best years of Juan Soto just yet. And in fact, I would probably go it's likely that we haven't, which is kind of a scary thought there. So for me, if we're swinging for the fences this offseason, Juan Soto a far more, like, appealing option
absolutely,
than Mike Trout. So I think we're kind of on the same page here, but our final thoughts, 1 to 10, how likely is it that Mike Trout is wearing a Phillies uniform last year? And 1 to 10, how bad do you want it?
Likely 3. 1. If he's healthy, if you could guarantee me health, 8.
You can't.
But you can't. So 5.
Okay. Based
off of the other possible moves they can make.
Yeah, I'll go likely.
If they can't get Soto, Santander, or Teoscar, a 5 probably goes up to a 7.
Okay. I'll go likely 3 and desire 2 for me. That I just not a Mike Trout guy. I like, even like Santander I could get more fired up about. Profar, who we talked about, I would prefer, to be perfectly honest, at this point in each of their careers. We'll see how things shake out. I do think I'm underselling Trout a little bit. That's kind of just my feelings on him. That I've been pretty net negative to him throughout his career, so not stopping now. But let me know if you guys disagree in the comments, if this is the guy that we should be fired up about. Drop your thoughts below. 1 to 10, how likely do you think it is? And 1 to 10, how much you desire to see him in a Phillies uniform. So appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. As always, make sure you smash that subscribe button if you have not already. Drop a like on this video. Me and Luke will be back talking to you next time. Peace.